let's start with your introduction.
And I am from Amravati, which lies in the Vidarbha area of Maharashtra, and this is my hometown, and I did my schooling from Harrisville. So then I moved to Raipur, Chhattisgarh, from where I did my graduation in chemical engineering from National Institute of Technology, Raipur. So currently I am working at a startup, Kinetic Technologies Private Limited, at the position of delivery engineer and also preparing for government examinations. So in my family there are 5 people. My father, who is working in Indian Railways at the post of assistant revenue engineer at Chalisgaon, Maharashtra. My mother is a homemaker, and my brother and my wife are currently studying. So my hobbies include watching and playing cricket, listening to Bollywood music, and watching movies and web series on OTT platforms.
Okay, so what do you think? What are the security related issues in your state?
The state that I live in is Maharashtra, sir. It is the 3rd largest state in our country. So there are various issues which range from maritime terrorism issue. There is the first issue of maritime terrorism. Second is the local organized crime issue. Third is the high unemployment and the farmer suicide, which leads to some type of bribery and all type of stuff, sir. The fourth issue is the high level of corruption that can lead to law and order situation. And the fifth is the Naxalism, which is present in the eastern part of the Maharashtra, sir.
इसके साथ ही साथ फ्रेंड्स आप इस बुक को ले सकते हो, जो आप सभी के लिए काफ़ी ज़्यादा हेल्पफुल होगी, स्पेशली इंटरव्यू के लिए आपकी. इसमें आपको 100+ इंटरव्यू से रिलेटेड क्वेश्चन आंसर मिल जाएंगे, जिनको आप प्रैक्टिस कर सकते हो, जो कि आपके एग्जाम में ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा पूछे जाने के चांसेस है. आपके इंटरव्यू में मोस्ट प्रोबेबली ये क्वेश्चन पूछे जा सकते हैं. ऐसे सारे क्वेश्चन यहाँ पे आपको एक सीरीज मिल जाएगी क्वेश्चन की. साथ ही साथ यहाँ पे आपको करेंट और सिक्योरिटी रिलेटेड टॉपिक्स भी मिलेंगे इसी बुक में. आपको अलग से कुछ प्रिपेयर करने की जरूरत नहीं है. सारे जितने भी रिसेंट करेंट एंड सिक्योरिटी रिलेटेड इश्यूज है वो सारे के सारे इस बुक में कवर किए गए हैं. साथ ही साथ जो है आपको ये लोएस्ट कॉस्ट में आपको ये बुक मिल जाएगी. एडिशनल आपको 30% डिस्काउंट भी मिल जाएगा. तो डिस्क्रिप्शन में दोस्तों लिंक दिया गया है, वहाँ से जाके आप इस बुक को ले सकते हो और अपनी प्रिपरेशन को और बेहतर तरीके से कर सकते हो. राइट फ्रेंड्स?
Okay, so what are the government is doing in this regard?
So the government has taken some bold steps related to all the security issues. The first step was taken during the 1990s to get check on the organized crime with the formation of MACOCA, that is the Maharashtra Control of Organized Crime Act, which was to control the organized crime link and all that stuff. The second is to control the Naxalism. As such, the problem, there has been a policy of there is a effective surrender and rehabilitation policy, as well as creation of a C64 to fight the Naxals, as well as arresting the so-called urban Naxals in the urban cities of Nagpur, Pune and Mumbai, which give them moral support as well as logistical support to the Naxals living in the jungles, sir. So these are the steps related to left-wing extremism, and related to some normal issues. There has been a spur of developmental scheme ranging from development of road to infrastructure and some other things, sir.
Okay, so what do you think? What are the steps required if we talk about respect to sports in India, and why there are although we are the second largest country of the world, still there are not a good performance in Olympics.
So India being the largest country in second largest country in terms of population in the world, it is true that we don't have the sports person which is of the quality of world standards. So the first reason is that the government is not adequately promoting the sports person which related to any other sports. And second, which related to infrastructure that is provided in the cities, in the villages. The second, there is a high level corruption, and there is a kind of what we can say in Hindi is that we have to have some connections in order to get to the upper level. Means if you want to go from tehsil level to block level or to some district level to play any sports, you need to have some connection, as there is a link between some coaches and with the government and some associations. So this is the second problem. And the third problem is that we are more focused on mainstream sports such as cricket. So that's why people in general don't have any idea about some sports like wrestling and kabaddi, which are indigenous to India, but are not as famous as it is in other countries, sir.
Okay, that's nice. Apart from that, can you elaborate what is the basic difference between information and intelligence?
Sir, information we can clearly talk is a given set of data, and intelligence is how to use that information basically. So I can give you an example with related to information and intelligence. If we are given a bowl of milk, then we know it is an information, but how to make a kheer or a tea from it is our intelligence, sir.
Okay, that's very nice. So, what do you think? What are the major challenges if we talk about with respect to narco-terrorism in India?
Sir, narco-terrorism is a very big problem in India. It is it is a problem which is in background, which is related to some other problems. The recent example being the narcotics that has been caught on the Mundra port in Gujarat tell us that how great the problem about narco-terrorism in India there is. And so personally in my college that I have studied in Raipur, Chhattisgarh, and it is an engineering college, it is a very common thing to have consumable narcotics such as marijuana in your college days. So it is widely spread among the youth, sir. And we have seen states like Punjab and some states in Northeast which have suffered hugely due to this drug abuse problem, sir. Which is mainly sponsored by the marijuana that is coming from Afghanistan and the Golden Triangle and Golden Crescent, sir. The government has taken so the first bold step by government was taken by the creation of the Narcotics Control Bureau, and it has passed the law of NDPS Act, that is the Narcotics, Drug and Psychotropic Substances Control Act, to control the menace of narcotic problems, sir.
Okay, that's very nice. So, what do you think? What you have learned from the failures? If you talk about so far.
Sir, I have always looked failure in the positive aspect. Sir, there are two ways to look towards the failure. The first step is to cringe about it, and second is to learn about it, learn something about it from it, sir. So, in my case, sir, whenever I get a failure, I have a satisfaction that even though I'm failing, I'm getting to know, I am getting some information related to that, sir. So, I can give you one example related to me. Like during my 10+2 days, I was preparing for IIT JEE examination, and in the first attempt, I was not able to clear the examination. So I cleared the first stage, but I was not able to clear the second stage. So due to that, I was not able to get a good college. But during that failure, I understood. I took a gap for 1 year, and then I tried to overcome the fear by thinking positive about the changes, what changes I need to do with respect to something that I am doing currently, and what mistakes I am making. And I have overcome it through various means, by studying for large hours, by studying some qualitative books and some other stuff. And I overcame that failure, and I was able to get through the exam next year, so in 2014.
Can you elaborate some of the qualities you have that is different from others?
So some of the qualities with respect to me that is different from other means I haven't looked means I have observed myself. So first of all, I think I rarely get angry, sir. I have that much patience about myself. I am a very dedicated person, sir. Dedication as in, if I'm getting into anything, then it is ultimately I'm not going to leave that thing sooner. So third thing, that I'm a very person who is relaxed most of the times. I take pressure rarely, sir. Even if there is a pressure situation, I would take a decision very calmly and be very calm about it, sir. And the fourth thing that I have is that I have an internal honesty about things. In such a diplomatic word, I am a person who will give honest advice to anyone who will ask me about anything.